Everybody, Radical Reggie back at you with another video, and I am in Astoria, Oregon at one of the coolest places you could visit. That is Galactix. This is an arcade Taphouse owned by my buddy Marcus, man. How you doing, man?
Good. Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
thanks for visiting.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while, dude. Like 5 years since I was up here. But man, you've got this place up and running, man. I'm so excited for you. I can't believe it took me like 5 years to get down here, but I'm finally here. So, yeah, man, tell us about it, man.
Well, it's been a while, but yeah, man, we've been open for a little over 3 years.
Okay.
And it's been, it's definitely a cool spot. If you're in Astoria, come visit.
Mm-hmm.
And we have sort of a sci-fi theme.
Right.
And, we try sort of a little bit of an immersion to it as well.
Yeah, it's like the whole place is like you're inside of a spaceship, man. It's so freaking cool. Like, very impressive. Like, the whole art design, how you have everything, it's just... Man, I was blown away, dude. I was like, dude, oh my God. Like, this is freaking awesome. But I did want to ask you this, man. Like, what made you decide to open a place like this?
Well, I have been collecting arcade games. I mean, my first arcade game was in like 2003, and it was Space Invaders, the cocktail. And then in 2006, I got a pinball game, which was Ninja Turtles. And it's just a slippery slope, And prices on pinball games back then were a lot cheaper,
right? And
arcade games also. So, it was just, and I had a big garage. When I lived in Portland, I had a 830 square foot garage, and I just started filling it up. And if I found something on Craigslist or Facebook, I'd go pick it up, and so it was kind of fun. It was like game hunting, but
just on another level.
Yeah, different level. And so a lot of the games that I collected are still in my possession, and and some of them are here, and so that's how I started. And then I actually have a business partner, Jeremy, who I met because he had a cidery in town, a hard cidery. He was like an amazing farmhouse level craft cider. Like, he was amazing. I mean, just the best cider. So I met him there, and we started to hang out, and he basically was like, I don't know, he basically helped build the back end of like what we need to do as far as the bar, because we have 24 taps, and that's 12 beers and 12 hard ciders. We have a really good selection of hard cider as well. Probably more hard ciders on tap than anywhere in Astoria, I think. And our beer and cider, he curates those. Right. So we sort of just like combine forces, and all the games are sort of something that I sort of curated, and we try and have a unique mix of older classics, but also kind of newer stuff. And then we have some rare stuff too.
Okay, man, you guys really made it happen. So I do want to ask you this as a personal question. Like, out of all the games here, I'll go with pinball first. What is your favorite pinball?
If it's my favorite pinball, it's kind of, right now, it's kind of weird. We just picked up Halloween. And that one is currently my favorite just because it's new and I've been playing it.
Michael Myers.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, honestly, I really like the Stranger Things pinball. I've had that. It was in our kitchen for a couple of years before we opened Galactix. But yeah, I like all of them, But if I'm going to play something, Halloween right now is really fun. So I like that one.
What are some of the more go-to games for people when they get here? Like some of the fan favorites here at Galactix.
Yeah, so we have a couple drivers in the back. So we have Rush 2049, a pair of sit-down drivers. People love those. A couple Hydro Thunders, and then next to that is Silent Scope. People love Silent Scope.
Yes, which I played. Got to the first level with 100% precision.
Yeah,
happy about that.
And then we have some other stuff like
Cruising Erotica, which I actually beat that game.
Exotica. I mean, you can say Erotica.
Either way, however you look at it.
Yeah.
I know, but
yeah, you did beat it the other day.
I beat that one. That was a lot of fun, man. So cool. I saw a lot of like retro games, like the Robocop, the arcade game, which I didn't really get to play as a kid.
Oh man, it's so hard, and it's funny because when I was a kid, I always went to arcades and stuff. Well, there was one from Southern Oregon that I would go to. And they had certain games, that like just stuck with me, and Robocop was one of them. And so it's weird, but that sort of influences the game selection. Right. And Robocop, it's so hard though, but it's fun. And same thing, I don't think we have Shadow Dancer out on the floor. Maybe we do, but that's another one, and that's so
that's one hit kills, but that's like really exciting.
Yeah.
Give us an extra hit, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I saw you had the infamous arcade back there, and hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Palibius?
Yeah, Palibius. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you come across that?
Yeah, so that one is sort of I mean, I can give you the mythos behind Palibius, or I can give you the real deal, you know. So the mythos is that in the early 80s, there was an MK Ultra program and it was put on by the CIA, right?
Right.
So they apparently took this arcade cabinet during the arcade frenzy of like 81, 82, 83,
Right.
and they put this cabinet in arcades in Portland.
Right.
And they would go there and watch and monitor people as it showed subliminal messages and would sort of implant thoughts and maybe different actions on people. And that was sort of one of like an MK Ultra sort of psychological experiment, psyops almost, right? And so the mythos behind that is that people say they remember the game from Portland. Like there's people that I've met, you know, they're like, oh, I remember seeing this, which is kind of crazy. But so with that, you know, behind it, we went out and we started to look around. And there's like, let's just say that there's a game that was made, which is amazing and follows the exact kind of like lore. And there's we're in a meteor shower right now. The ship is we're docking.
Yeah, we'll get into the sounds next.
Yeah. So you know, essentially, the game itself has subliminal messages that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
If we're here long enough, we'll actually hear it start to upload and transmit data to the FBI. It'll start to make like modem noises. The gameplay is really hard, and so but it's crazy. It just showed up here one day, man.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Just kind of just showed up.
Yeah.
So as far as the music and sounds here, like what kind of music do you play here?
Yeah, so the music is heavily influenced into chill wave, retro wave, and vaporwave.
Okay.
And part of the reason for that is that I'm really into that sort of aesthetic, and we tried to make something that like matches that visually, but also has a sci-fi element and gives tribute to Total Recall. Like this Star Wall is like a idea behind that. Robocop, Terminator, Predator. Like we have touches everywhere from Star Wars, Star Trek. Our tap handles have a language. I don't know if it looks familiar to you, but those are a language that some people get right off of that, some don't. And even our garbage receptacles have some sort of lore behind them. And so there's that. And then we have, so the other thing is, I do music. So I have 2 albums I did, which are Paint Crush and Blue Crush. And these are definitely like retro wave. Right. I use Sega CD and Sega Genesis, sound chips and like different chiptune stuff, but also like play bass, guitar, that kind of shit. Well, this is a Sega Dreamcast release I did. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because these music videos, which we did and put together, kind of match these aesthetics. So behind us, on this side over here are like cartoons from the 80s, and they just go on repeat, and it's like, I don't know, it's tons of episodes. And then, which right now is Darkwing Duck.
Well, no, that's the
Duckula. Yeah,
that's a time capsule.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool.
And then this one is more of like 80s and 90s CGI sort of demos. Okay. And they're compiled. And then the other thing that happens is we have a CD called just The Galactix, the compact disc. And Reggie is a guest on here. But what it is that every hour, the lights in here will change. Sometimes they'll flash, sometimes they'll change to red. And there's a complete storyline of about 70 audio cues that it kind of bounces everywhere. It references Final Fantasy to Star Fox lore to like Blade Runner and Dune and all over the place. Reggie's in it. Yep. He's got a sort of a romance with somebody in the storyline that might be stepping out on him. I don't know, but it's pretty funny. So every hour the lights change and that voiceover plays, and we sell the CDs too. So if you're interested, we do sell these on our website, which is thegalactix.com. Right. We have like a merch section and stuff, but all of our merch follows that sort of Spaceballs thing. Remember when Mel Brooks was yogurt? And so it's like, Spaceballs, the lunchbox. So we've got Galactix, the lunchbox, and we actually have like a little kid punch card and all that stuff. But t-shirts, Galactix, the t-shirt. So,
so tell me about like one of your busiest days here. Like how does that work?
Busiest days of the week are going to be Saturdays. So that's always, And then, of course, there's annual events. Like right now, I don't know when you'll have this uploaded, but we have the Goonies 40th anniversary coming up in, like, I think 1 week. It's on the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And that's going to be, like, I think Corey Feldman's in town. And what's the other Pirelli brother, that guy?
The guy was a Maniac Cop too, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah. He's going to be here, and somebody else. And it's just going to be a crazy weekend of everyone checking out Goonies stuff. And we are lucky enough to have a Goonies red tent. So the Versus Goonies here on, all original hardware.
It's really cool. Like, so a lot of people in America, I don't know if you guys remember this, but on the NES, we got Goonies Part 2, but we never got Goonies Part 1. But there was a Goonies Part 1. Yeah. I believe it was released on the Famicom first in Japan.
I think so.
And then it went to arcade.
Yeah.
You have it here, playable.
Yeah.
So for people coming here for the 40th anniversary in town, definitely stop by Galactix and try that game out. Man.
Yeah, there's a website called, I think it's like Goonies 40th or something. Right. And there's all the activities that are happening that weekend.
Yeah.
And that's on there. That's one of the things that's on there.
So can you give me a little bit, you got a lot of pinballs over here, man. Can you give me a little history about anything?
Yeah, I mean, pinball specifically?
Yeah, let's go take a look.
All right, let's take a look.
So I saw you in the Divas pinball here. They're from the WWE wrestling.
Yeah, do you know anything about this game in particular, or the Divas themselves?
I know Paige did a skin flick back in the day that got leaked online, or maybe it wasn't leaked. I don't really know.
Ooh.
Is that what you...
I don't know. I guess that could be true. I'm not sure. I do think that all of these divas are troubled. I will tell you that what's unique about this game is it's actually just WrestleMania, and it's not rare. And some people hate this game, by the way. In fact, a lot of pinball purists really are kind of like turned off by this game. But what's interesting about it is that Stern, the company who makes this, made a limited translite, which is what is installed. So this is an official Stern translite, which was kind of, I think it was given away at the time to certain, I can't remember how you would get it, but we do have this one, which is kind of cool. The alternative for this model is, it's got John, you can't see me, what's that guy?
John Cena.
John Cena, you can't see me. So he's on the front, and then some of the other people like Triple H, I think.
Okay.
But this game to me is pretty fun. It's got a ring, center ring, and so it's, what I like is, there you go. Yeah, but I actually like that because it's just unusual. But yeah.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So dude, this is weird, man. I see you got the Les Schwab team pinball.
Yeah.
What's going on with this, man?
So this is a really interesting game. So here in the Northwest, we have Les Schwab Tire Factory, and Les Schwab Tire Factory has been around for a long time. And when I was a kid, I remember watching the commercials where Les Schwab, that's his name, the guy on the back glass there, would actually give away free beef with every purchase. So because he had a ranch, in Central Oregon, he had a big ranch. I think it might have been Prineville. And he would give away frozen, beef with every tire purchase. And he would show him go over to the freezer and do this. He'd be free beef with Les Schwab Tire Factory,
So they're getting people to send them savings. So tires.
Yeah, and if you look over the slingshots, you can see it says free beef, and so essentially what this is originally this was a checkpoint or pinball game by Data East, and at some point Les Schwab commissioned, we don't actually know what happened exactly, but Les Schwab commissioned Data East to either make and do a haphazard rebrand custom pinball, or he had his marketing team make it, which is probably the correct one. We don't know because Data East actually would make custom requests for people, and that much is true. But as far as the quality of what was put out, I kind of think it's probably from his own marketing team. But what he did was he converted 2 of these over to be from Checkpoint to be Les Schwab, right? Okay. One of them went to his house, and one of them went to Les Schwab, actually on location. I think it was like in Gresham or something. Okay. And it was used for in the back of training videos, and then it was on location. It just got beat to hell. So this was one that came out of his personal estate when he passed away. Wow. And a collector up in Tacoma, actually, who's a really cool guy, he's had tons of stuff. He had this for sale, and he had it listed for a pretty high price, I'm not going to say, but a lot. And it just sat on Craigslist for 6 months. Then he lowered it down to $3,000 or something. And I finally messaged him and I was like, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for it. No one wanted this game. Nobody wanted it. And he's like, oh man, that's lowballing me. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just, I don't really want it that much, but I was interested. And then one day he told me because he was always moving games. And he's like, Marcus, if you can get here tomorrow, by 2 o'clock, I'll sell it to you for $1,100. And it was like Thursday night he messaged me.
So you get
Friday
his final price.
Yeah, so Friday I was like, absolutely. That was like, God, man, like, I don't know, 12 years ago, 15 years ago.
Wow.
And I went and picked it up for $1,100. And it is restored, you know, it's definitely been upgraded. But people freak out when they see this because they're just like, Les Schwab, what the hell?
Yeah, the commercial, I remember.
Yeah, so there you go.
Very cool, man. All right, so we got the Spectre files here. What is this, Death Stalker?
Yeah.
So, tell me about this one.
So Death Stalker is a game that originally was made in the 80s, and the footage was lost. It was like kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure Laserdisc FMV game.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and it was saved by Galloping Ghost and Doc Mack, who run Galloping Ghost Arcade in Chicago.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so this was an arcade cabinet that they made, and I think they only made like 20 or 25 of them,
Really?
which is pretty awesome. Yeah, and so we have this one. Actually, it was crazy. So when this one was being shipped out here, the guy who helped make the game and actually do it, I think he was like the director, he signed it. So ours is signed.
Okay.
And big shout out to Doc Mack. That guy's amazing and has one of the largest, collections of restored arcade machines. I mean,
Dude,
the rarest stuff, like the absolute rare stuff. But yeah, Death Stalker, I think there's only like 20, 25 arcade cabinets, and it's a blast. Like, people love this game. It's, it's old school FMV, man.
Yeah, man, I love that they were able to restore it, man. That's freaking awesome. So
check it out. They had a Galactix on the title screen, too.
Very nice,
yeah,
very
awesome.
nice. Cool, all right. And what do we have here?
So this one's not super rare, but it's just really weird, and it's the Versus Skate Kid Brothers. You can totally find this, but I just made it a point to put it in the Versus Red tent because I think it's so weird. But it's essentially a Super Mario Brothers ROM hack. But what's cool about it is it's from the 80s.
ROM hack from the 80s.
Yeah, and this company called TCB
Right.
made it, and they would sell these kits to arcades to swap out the Mario chipset and put this game instead. And it was more challenging because I think it's based off of
the first Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
It was not as hard as the Lost Levels, but it's more like it's kind of like a middle ground, I would say. But it's my favorite Super Mario Brothers game out of the first game.
Yeah. And it's TBS. Sorry, so
TBS,
1988 TBS. It says right there. But it's kind of cool. You've got a skateboard. There's like the princess is in a bikini, and there's Bibles. Strangely enough, it's just a weird game.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this one just because it's bizarre. People come over and they're like, "Oh, it's Mario Brothers." I'm like, "No, we actually have Super Mario Brothers over here.
Right.
This is Skate Kid Brothers." So
very cool, man. Very cool. All right, man. You gotta give me a little history on Xenocrisis and the Neo Geo Cave.
Oh yeah, man. So this is Bitmap Bureau. Great game. This is such a cool addition to have on the Neo Geo 4 slot. This is a restored Neo Geo 4 slot. And currently I have Bust-a Move, Magician Lore, and Mutation Nation, and Xenocrisis.
Right on. So how do people like Xenocrisis as a new game?
I think people really like it, actually. I mean, the music's awesome, it keeps you pumped up.
Yep.
I think it's extremely difficult. So if someone's like trying to get like a complete run, it's like, that. I mean, it's awesome.
To get the good ending, man.
Yeah.
It's tough, but it's fun though, I would say. So
it is, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. You have like a new game in a Neo Geo arcade cab, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
Who knows? Maybe we'll end up getting the other one that they have, Mayhem?
Final Vendetta.
Oh yeah, Final Vendetta.
Yeah, right next to each other.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right, so Darius, another Chronicle, a very popular shoot 'em up game, man. This is amazing. You have this thing, man. So tell us about this.
So this is a really, Darius originally in arcades had 3 CRT monitors and or 2, so it was really widescreen, field of vision. So really a cool thing. Well, this one, which is from 2010, has 2 really large monitors as well, and it adds, so the field of vision is just sick,
Right.
The gameplay itself and what makes this one a little bit unique is that there's not that many of these in the United States. I mean, there's I don't know how many exactly. It's a lower number, but what's cool about this one is that this one has been translated to English. So there's a guy, actually he's in the UK, who helped me out, and he helped me convert the actual image to English. And what's crazy about that is, these things are on lockdown. Like the computers on these are totally on lockdown.
Really?
And so, they have like a security key that goes with it. So if you ever you know, try and put a new motherboard or something. You can't launch it.
Okay.
Anyway, and same thing with the hard drive, right? So the hard drive is keyed to it.
Right.
So this guy, it was really helpful, and having it in English is a major bonus because when I first got this, it was like, you know, what mode am I choosing? And people were confused. And then this guy, he's awesome.
That's awesome, dude. And it looks like it's really comfortable to sit down at. Like, you know, it's a 4-player game.
Yeah.
I got to play it a bit the other day, and I was having a blast with it, man. Like, it kind of reminded me of the old school, like a little bit like when people played the 6-player X-Men back in the day.
Oh my god, so awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, man. So
another thing about this, you mentioned it's comfortable. So my business partner Jeremy's wife reupholstered the seat for us.
Oh, okay.
So it's like super comfortable. Yeah. Because you know, and the other thing that's cool about this game is that you can put in, you know, the credit to get started. But if you put in, I think, 3 credits, which in this case I think this is 75 cents to play. So if you put in, you know, the 250 or whatever, you essentially get unlimited ships if you want, but it won't keep score. So your
score away, but you can play through the game and just enjoy the experience.
And the reason I like this game so much is because it is sci-fi, but it also has like a deep sea vibe to it because all the enemies are like, you know, octopus or like, you know, and that fits, you know, being here kind of on the coast or at least a river town like Astoria.
Very cool, man. Awesome. So I had to ask you about this one now that we're up close with it. John Carpenter's Halloween, man.
Yeah.
What's up with this pinball? This is one of the newer ones.
This is one of our newer ones, which is recently acquired from my friend Todd, who actually runs the Maritime. He owns the Maritime with his wife. And that's right next door, by the way. And they've got like 13, 14 pinball games. But we traded for this, and it's awesome, man. It's got the great John Carpenter music. And you can select which movie you're going to be.
Yes, dude, that was really impressive, man. One of our good friends, Crazy Joe, is a big Halloween fan, so he would love to play this thing. But yeah, man, I love how it has the mini pinball inside of it. I think it has 2 of them right there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, two miniature play fields, on the upper levels. Yep, it's really cool.
Very cool, man. And you got to tell us, which is your favorite Halloween movie?
I like The Season of the Witch.
Wow, I was not expecting that at all.
I mean, I like them all, but I think that one's hilarious.
Season of the Witch is actually a good movie, man. I mean, people hate on it, but it's actually a good one.
I think it's funny just because of the Halloween, you know, masks and just how creepy and weird it is. But if it's Mike Myers, I do like the first 2 a lot. Right. So yeah.
Okay, very cool, man. Impressive machine. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so hope you enjoyed the video. Me and Marcus did record an ending to this video, but unfortunately those files got corrupted. But he wanted to let you know that if you're in Astoria, definitely stop by Galactix. You will have a great time at this bar. But we're going to leave it there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, the Radical One, and Marcus, and we will see you at Galactix.